to the sheriff's office and get a background check to see what's actually on there. And then you could contact, and we'll get that information over to the school. Middle Georgia Justice, that's where, they handle all of our record restrictions for the circuit. If there is something on there, then you can contact them and see if it's something that may be able to be restricted. Georgia has expanded their, record restriction, just because we want people to, have, great features and attain employment. That's good not only for them, but for the community. And so, there has been a push for expansion on record restriction, really typically at least, every other year in the legislature. So Georgia's taking great strides for that, but I would say the first step would be to go and pull, your criminal record, and you can get that done at the sheriff's office. It's kinda like when you get ready to go buy a house, and, the first thing that you should do is pull your credit report, see what's on there, right? 'Cause sometimes stuff is on there you didn't know was on there. Sometimes stuff you think might be on there is not on there, right? So, you first kinda wanna assess where you are, and then after that, you would go from there. But great question.
I have one more question before I let it go. Okay, so say like it's in another state, would that still affect? Because I'm just trying to get the information more. Say like it's in another state, would that still affect what's going on here, or does that transfer over here, or is it just like a background in general, where like it's just I still have to do what you were just telling me?
So, okay, so, no, so if it's through another state, you may have to go to that state. Okay, you have what you call GCIC, which is your Georgia Criminal, Record, and then you have NCIC, and that's the national database. It just depends on the employer, what they're pulling from. So being that it might be in another state, and it may be so long ago, they may have different laws, and it could not be there. So what I would do is, I would ask the employer, first, like, what record they're gonna be pulling from, and then if they tell you they're gonna be pulling from your NCIC record, which is a national, criminal history, then I would, figure out how to get that from that state. But all the laws are very different, so, I'm a Georgia native, Middle Georgia native at that, and so,
Cause I don't have nothing in Georgia. I was just asking, would that still affect? Cause
It could, it just depends on where they're pulling from. That's why it's important for you to see it yourself and know what's on there, right? Cause sometimes it's not even a matter of something being on there, it's just your ability to be knowledgeable so that you can be honest about what's on there and you can explain it. I'll tell you that, the workforce, from what I see, there's such high demand right now for the workforce, even in education, right? They need more teachers, they need more paraprofessionals, they need more media specialists. And so, I think that they have relaxed, a lot of the areas have relaxed some of those standards. So, I would definitely, but I feel like you want to have the information so that you can have a conversation, with them from a point of knowledge of what's going on, and you can just explain what happened. Okay? All right, thank you so much for your questions. I'm sure that, I hope the information helped you and others that may be listening. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Are you able to take two more?
Absolutely.
Okay, lead your question.
Hey, how long did it take you to become a DA agent?
Okay, so I was a prosecutor for 15 years, before I became district attorney. Prior to that, I did 4 years of undergraduate. I received my undergraduate degree, a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts from Valdosta State University. That took 4 years, and then 3 years of law school, and then 15 years as an assistant district attorney. And there's no requirement that you have to be a prosecutor or assistant district attorney or line prosecutor before you become district attorney. But I do believe that has aided in my effectiveness, because I've tried all kind of cases from speeding to murder. My specialty was crimes against children. And so being that I had that experience, when one of my 20 or so ADAs comes in my office with a question, I don't have to send them down the hallway. I can answer the question, because I've actually done a lot of this. So that's really aided in, I believe, my success as district attorney.
Will you repeat this question so that the other sites, you've answered it, but I'm not certain they know exactly what the question was.
Oh, I asked how long did it take to become a DA agent?
Right, so the question was, how long does it take to become district attorney? And so, that's what I was explaining. As I said, I've been an I was ADA for 15 years prior to being district attorney. But great question, thank you.
I'm not sure if I heard this right, but I'm sure you take pride in it. You're first African American female to become a DA agent in Georgia. How do you feel about that?
Yes, I'm honored. I'm the first female and the first African American district attorney, and my goal is to lead with such excellence to ensure that I won't be the last. You know, when you're the first at anything, and as we talked about, there's no roadmap. You're really in uncharted waters. There is a lot of, you know, eyes on you, a lot of scrutiny on you, and so it is my goal and my vision to make sure that I do the job with such excellence and such passion that I'm the first, but I won't be the last.
That's awesome. That's all the questions I have for you. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank
Thank
you
you.
so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank